Welcome back, Factophiles. Brace yourself, because reality is often way darker than fiction. But hey, if we don't laugh at the absurdity of it all, we might just cry. Let's dive in. 1. The oldest recorded case of justice was a guy in Mesopotamia who got yeeted into a river to see if he was guilty. If he drowned, innocent. If he survived, definitely guilty. 2. There's a Roman recipe book from 1st century AD that casually includes how to cook your enemies after battle. You know, just in case your dinner plans needed an extra kick. 3. Victorian mourning jewelry often contained actual hair from the deceased, and some pieces were practically woven wigs. Jewelry, more like keepsake taxidermy. 4. Back in the day, you could rent professional mourners to cry at funerals if your family wasn't dramatic enough. The Oscars for Best Fake Weeping must have been wild. 5. The phrase "saved by the bell" didn't come from boxing. It came from coffins. People were buried with bells just in case they were, prematurely planted. I'd say I want a bell in my coffin too, but with my luck, a cat would set it off and freak out an entire cemetery. 6. Scientists once kept a dog's severed head alive for hours by attaching it to a machine. It was blinking, reacting to sounds, and haunting everyone's dreams forever. 7. Ever heard of the Stanford prison experiment? Turns out, if you give people even pretend power, they'll go full psycho in under a week. Shocking? Not really. Some turtles breathe through their butts, which isn't terrifying, but imagine if humans did that. Yoga would be very different. There are thousands of mummified human hands found in ancient Egyptian tombs. Why? Apparently, cutting off hands was the HR-approved way to prove you won a battle. Venus is so hot it literally rains metal. Basically, it's a planet-sized death trap with zero chill. Venus sounds like a Karen's dream vacation spot. Hot, toxic, and guaranteed to ruin someone's day. There's a jellyfish that's basically immortal. It just reverses its aging process like some kind of oceanic Benjamin Button. Before we continue, if you like strange, bizarre, and hard to believe, but totally true facts, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. 12. Everyone loves dolphins, right? They are the heroes of the sea. Wrong. They've been observed playing with their food by passing fully inflated pufferfish back forth amongst them like an undersea beach ball and using the pufferfish's toxin to get, happy. 13. Some ants turn into zombies when infected with a fungus that literally hijacks their brain and controls their movements. Last of Us? Not so fictional. 14. The common housefly vomits on its food before eating it because it can't chew. Bon appetit. 15. Octopuses can edit their own genes, making them the closest thing we have to real-life aliens. Meanwhile, I can barely edit a text message without embarrassing myself. 16. In medieval times, doctors would taste patients' urine to diagnose illnesses. I'm sure someone took that job way too seriously. 17. Bloodletting was so common that barbershops did it, which is why their poles are red and white. Need a trim and a medical emergency? One-stop shop. 18. Old-timey dentists had zero anesthesia and often just used pliers. Imagine scheduling a cleaning and leaving with PTSD. 19. There was once a cure for illness that involved swallowing live frogs. Just imagine hearing ribbit from inside your stomach. 20. Trepanation, aka drilling a hole in your skull, was a common treatment for headaches. Spoiler, it rarely helped. On the bright side, no one ever complained about migraines again, because they were, no longer around to complain. 21. The famous outlaw Elmer McCurdy's mummified body was used in haunted houses for years before someone realized he wasn't a prop. 22. There's a body farm where scientists study how corpses rot in different conditions. That's one way to spend a workday. 23. Ever heard of exploding caskets? Turns out, if a coffin is too airtight, the decomposing body builds up gas pressure, and well, boom. 24. The average human swallows 8 spiders a year in their sleep. Scientists say this probably isn't true, but I still refuse to trust them. 25. When you die, your skin can sometimes turn green. That's right, even in death, you can still cosplay as Shrek. At least someone at your funeral can say they went out looking unique. 26. There's a planet made entirely of burning ice. 26. Physics took one look at it and said, screw logic, let's traumatize astronomers. 27. If you fall into a black hole, you get stretched into spaghetti before being crushed out of existence. 27. Delicious. 28. The sun is constantly shooting out deadly radiation, and Earth's magnetic field is the only thing saving us. Without the Earth's magnetic field, even SPF 1000 wouldn't be enough to save us. 29. The universe is expanding faster than we can measure, meaning one day, galaxies will be so far apart that we won't see any stars. Cosmic loneliness, anyone? 30. Earth is due for another mass extinction event. No one knows when, but let's just say the dinosaurs didn't see theirs coming either. 30. So don't worry about that embarrassing thing you said 10 years ago. Earth has bigger problems. 31. There's a spider that deliberately pretends to be a dead leaf to ambush prey. 32. Some species of wasps lay eggs inside live caterpillars, which hatch and eat them from the inside out. 33. The human brain remains conscious for a few minutes after death, probably wondering if they left the iron on. 34. There's an ancient Roman curse tablet that literally asks the gods to make someone's intestines explode. 35. People in the 18th century wore lead-based makeup and poisoned themselves for fashion. 36. Some corpses move post-mortem due to muscle contractions. 37. There's a fungus that replaces a fly's genitals with spores, then forces them to infect others. 38. Some turtles can live for months without their heads, which is honestly overachieving. 39. Rats can fit through holes the size of a quarter, and they love toilets. Or the oldest known joke is about a fart. It's safe to say the first joke was a real stinker. 41. Victorians held picnics in cemeteries like it was the park. 42. If a corpse is left in water long enough, it can turn into soap. 43. The Titanic's distress rockets were mistaken for fireworks, so nobody came to help. 44. There's a lake in Africa that burps up CO2, suffocating everything nearby. 45. Anesthesia doesn't work on some people, but they still can't move. 46. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. 47. The world's most isolated person lived alone for 40 years in the Amazon. 48. There are more empty houses than homeless people in the world. 49. Crows remember human faces and hold grudges. 50. Sharks existed before trees. Evolution was like, yeah, let's start with that nightmare fish. And that's the list. Sleep well, knowing the universe is actively trying to scare you. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and share the video with others weird Facto H piles.